This segment of the Alice Stewart Show is brought to you by Arrow Plumbing. For all your household or business plumbing needs, call Arrow Plumbing at 1-866-PLUMBER or schedule an appointment online at arrowplumbing.net.
And we're back on the Alice Stewart Show, 7:35 on a beautiful Friday. Hope you have great plans to get out and enjoy this great state this weekend. We're joined in studio with someone many are familiar with, former Congressman Ed Bethune. He is a former 2nd District Congressman. He has quite the resume. Congressman, great to have you here.
Thanks, Alice.
And you are a former Congressman. You've served in the FBI. You've been a prosecutor. Many things on your resume here, but author is a new one. You've written your second book. It is entitled Gay Panic in the Ozarks. We'll talk about your book first, and then you have an event coming up at the Lehman Library next week, and we'll give details on that. But tell us about your book. This is my view. I've read the book. In full disclosure, I'm working to handle national media promotions for this book, but it's a great book about, it's kind of like a John Grisham novel.
Well, thanks for that comparison.
It is.
Look, I originally titled this book, my working title was Differences, because I've always been just intrigued by the culture clashes that occur in this country. And I had a case a few years back where 23 men who lived in a very rural area were charged with night riding because they went out and terrorized a group that had moved into the community and lived as a commune in an old chicken house. And there was a clash of cultures there over political differences. And so I wound up defending the 23 men, and we had a very important trial about that matter. And it took a week to try the case, but it was a catharsis for the community, and it relieved a lot of the tensions. And finally we got to the truth, and the outcome was that three of the 23 spent some weekends in the jail, and the others were let go. But that sort of inspired me to write this book about culture clashes. And so today I think I chose to invent a character, a gay man, a young gay man who went into a rural community in North Arkansas near the Missouri border. And as it turned out, the locals there lynched him. And it was a very brutal lynching. And to make matters worse, the authorities turned a blind eye to it, and the case went unsolved for years. And then I moved forward in the book to the current times, and without revealing the story, I can say that the people of the community and those who were involved in turning a blind eye, some of them, had a second chance, to come to grips with man's greatest shortcoming, and that is the refusal to see wrong and do something about it.
And while this story, Gay Panic in the Ozarks, it is about the homosexual issue, it also, the idea and the prejudices also can be found with regard to racial issues and others. And you talk about that, the culture war that we have in society is really the theme of the book.
You could take the concepts that I deal with in this book and apply them to race, or apply them to political differences, or to economic differences, anything that creates tension. I was really impressed last week. I went to see the movie The Giver, and the storyline there is that it's about a community in some modern world, fictional world, where they have eradicated all differences. Sameness is the rule. Everybody is the same. And what they learn from that is that that's not a good way to live, that it's the differences in life that make life interesting. The trick is for us to learn how to live with each other in spite of our differences.
Well, and to the point in this book, and whether we're talking about current society, at some point, someone has to listen to that internal voice saying it's time for someone to stand up and do the right thing.
Yeah, that's right. And, I included in my writing a reference to the scripture, who can know the error of his ways? I love that scripture because, we're all flawed, and the scripture goes on to say, cleanse us of our secret faults. The biggest problem we have today, and I write about this extensively in the book, my characters carry the theme forward, is how do you lay aside your prejudices and find the truth and do right, and not let those prejudices, even though they may be deep-seated and hidden down in you, and you may deny them. You may even deny to yourself that you have them. How do you lay those aside and render a fair and impartial judgment? Whether you're a prosecutor, a defense attorney, or whether you're a juror or a witness or a judge, all of us have that challenge. Our system's not perfect, but it's the best that's ever been devised, and guess what? It's the only one we got. And so I don't fault the system. It's the people in the system.
Right. And I think the key with this book is that it's driven on the characters and the relationships with the characters, but your experience with serving as a prosecutor, being in FBI, and as a congressman, you take all of those experiences and are able to tell the story through the characters. And I want to tell folks about, you're here to talk about you're going to talk about the book and sign the book next Tuesday night, the 26th at 7 o'clock at the Lehman Library there in North Little Rock. And it is right there off of the interstate there, the William F. Lehman Public Library. And you'll be signing the book, but talking about the book.
Yeah, I've had a book signing before at Wordsworth here in Little Rock, but we're very excited about this event at Lehman Library. It's a beautiful facility, but it will be the first time, really, that we've had a chance to discuss the concepts in the book, why I wrote the book, what the characters are up to in the book. And I believe that the book, by the way, is not about the issue of gay marriage. That's a volatile issue. But the book is a roadmap for how we can and should live with each other in spite of our differences. And as you said earlier, we can apply that to almost any of the prejudices that we have in today's world. And so the book invites people to think about those issues. And so I'm very excited about this, and I think we'll have a chance at this meeting Tuesday night at Lehman to discuss those things. And
the address there is 2801 Orange Street there in North Little Rock. Next Tuesday, the 26th, from 7 to 8, and you can get your book signed. Also, folks can order the book online. They can go to Amazon.com and purchase Gay Panic in the Ozarks. Or you can go and visit with the congressman next Tuesday at Lehman Library. We're going to take a break. I want to come back and continue the conversation, but also with you and your background in law and in justice, your thoughts on the situation going on in Ferguson, Missouri. And it relates in part to your book and what's going on in our society. So Congressman Ed Bethune will join us after the break to talk more about our culture war in society. We'll be back after this. This segment of the Alice Stewart Show brought to you by Arrow Plumbing. For all of your household or business plumbing needs, call Arrow Plumbing, 1-866-PLUMBER, or schedule an appointment online at arrowplumbing.net.